The horrible and recent murders of Rob Reiner and his wife haunt me. Carl Reiner, Rob's father, was prominent in early TV on the unique and fabulous Your Show of Shows.
Didn't anyone ever teach you how to make a GI knot? It's supposed to be tight!
And he later played a version of himself as he appeared on those shows as the crotchety Alan Brady on the Dick Van Dyke Show, a show which Carl Reiner also created, which was a huge success.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Huh? Would you like these? What do you suggest I do with all of these now, huh?
Well, there must be some needy bald people.
Years after that, he played that character again in an episode of the sitcom Mad About You. Paul Reiser, playing a filmmaker, talked Reiner as Brady into narrating a documentary about the history of television. During this episode, he and Reiner watched black and white footage of Reiner that's supposedly taken from his much earlier Your Show of Shows type, groundbreaking TV show. On the real show, Reiner acted with Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca, both of whom had died. They needed someone else to play opposite Reiner. He was playing himself as much younger, so he wore a dark toupee instead of his usual gray toupee. He was bald, and lots of makeup, and they hired me to play the Imogene Coca lady. And it worked out great.
Harry, if you don't stop flirting, I'm going home to Mother. No, I'm going to have Mother move in with us. How do you like that?
I do not flirt. Well, hello there. It's all in your head.
Harry, I'm at the end of my rope.
I don't know what you're talking about. For you. You've got to forgive me. Please, I beg you. I love you. I worship you. It's you, and only you, for the rest of my life.
No, Harry.
Carl Reiner later won an Emmy for this episode. It's amazing how much younger you can look with hair. Our scene was charming and funny, and it was thrilling for me to work with the great Carl Reiner, a genuine comic genius. I was so impressed I was tongue-tied. He knew I was from New York because the director, Gordon Hunt, Helen Hunt's father, told him. Hunt knew me from New York, where I once acted in the staged reading of a play he directed. By this time, I spent 3 to 6 months a year in LA for pilot season, but kept New York City as my primary residence because I had a boyfriend and a rent-controlled apartment there. I was bi-coastal. So we're shooting this cute scene, and in between takes, Reiner sidles up to me and says, "You're from New York, right?" And I say, "Yeah." And he, very anxious and very concerned, he says, "Are you getting any work? What's it like? What's happening? A lot of auditions? Is there work? What's going on?" The great Carl Reiner was pumping me for career advice. Well, I blubbered, "I'm here trying to pick up TV work." Was he wondering if he should move back? Why someone with his credits would think I knew more or anything about work opportunities than he did was endearing, but off the mark. I had no idea. I still don't. Every job I've ever gotten seems like a miracle, an unpredictable gift from heaven. My other connection to the Reiner family is one of those agonizing near-miss career stories. The famous sitcom All in the Family, it's based on a popular British TV series, and it was originally scheduled to shoot in New York City. They had their leading couple, Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
But the producers, led by Norman Lear, had yet to cast the daughter and her husband, Meathead. I auditioned for it over and over, 4 or 5 times, but in the end, sadly, the producers made the historic decision to shoot the series in LA. They pay a whole big bunch of money to relocate Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton to California, but in the interest of economy, they decided to cast the two younger leads with LA actors. My agents told me James Woods and I had gotten the parts in the New York version, but nothing was on paper. Things hadn't gotten to the negotiation stage, so we got nothing. And, I don't know how true this is or not. I mean, this is literally what my agents told me. And this was before, of course, All in the Family was famous. I mean, it was before it had even been shot. So I think it probably is true. But how ironic, with what we know now about Jimmy Wood's right-wing politics, to think of him playing the super liberal meathead. Rob Reiner was fabulous in that role. He contributed much to the success of that show. He was just great.
Man's inhumanity to man, and the hope for a new brotherhood shining through.
Where?
Where?
And no offense to Sally Struthers, but I honestly believe I would have been a lot better playing the daughter. But of course, let's face it, I am biased. And to add insult to injury, when I did get to LA and auditioned for other Norman Lear shows, he never hired me. What was that all about? C'est la show business. Lastly, what I find so sickening about the murders of Rob Reiner and his wife by their son Nick, a nobody and a drug addict who was consumed with envy for both his famous grandfather and famous father, is that he got his disgusting wish. Now he's famous. May he rot in hell.